This is the man suspected of walking into a church in Charleston, South Carolina, Wednesday evening, armed with a gun and opening fire on worshippers at prayer. The gunman left 9 people dead and a community in grief over a dramatic escalation of interracial tension in the U.S.
Until the investigation is complete, I'm necessarily constrained in terms of talking about the details of the case. But I don't need to be constrained about the emotions that tragedies like this raise. I've had to make statements like this too many times. Communities like this have had to endure tragedies like this too many times.
Dylann Roof was identified by his uncle, who saw the images of him released by police after the mass killing. When officers arrived at Roof's family home, they learned that the shooter was given a gun by his father as a present for his 21st birthday in April this year. After fleeing the crime scene, Roof sent officers on a major manhunt across the state.
We've arrested Dylann Roof, R-O-O-F, from Lexington, South Carolina. Approximately 30 minutes ago, he was arrested in Shelby, North Carolina, during a traffic stop. At this time, we have not only FBI agents there, but we also have SLED and City of Charleston detectives preparing to fly to Shelby, North Carolina to begin the interview process as well as evidence recovery.
At the U.S. Department of Justice, following the tragedy, leaders tried to explain how no one foresaw what was coming.
I want to take a moment to address the heartbreaking and deeply tragic events that occurred at Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina last evening. This is a crime that has reached into the heart of that community. The Department of Justice has opened a hate crime investigation into this shooting incident.
Roof was charged on 2 separate occasions earlier this year with drug offenses and trespassing. The Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church has a long history in Charleston, where it was established as a shelter in the face of racial hostility. In 1962, it was nearly burned down to the ground in another hate crime, but was erected once again. Now, after the fatal shooting in its basement, being called a hate crime by police, members of the oldest church of its kind in the American South say it will continue to persevere and emerge stronger still.